All right, so got these on the kit. I was playing around for a little while. I have to work on my floor tom a little bit, but you'll still get the idea. Totally happy with my floor tom. Also the tuning. I got new skins on it, or relatively new skins, and they're stretching out, so. So there's one design flaw that's a bit of a pain in the ass with these drums. They're not bad though. I mean, so if we see our mic input and we see this guy here, you can't adjust it to get any closer without turning it on an angle like that, which is, you know, kind of useless. If you want a mic sideways, I guess it can work, but it appears as, well, it doesn't appear. There is only one position that you can put these at. You can change this angle, which is cool. Another thing to pay attention to is this is made out of metal, which is cool. This is made out of plastic. So be careful, you know, don't drop, like you can drop this, but this will break and this is where your mic input is. So, you know, but what do you expect for 150 bucks? I have the default thing. This is for snare and tom, snare and high tom, second tom, third tom. I find they're pretty, you actually want to aim them towards the center of the drum. And they're pretty good rejection wise. They're not bad. I have the bass drum mic just pointed in the hole towards, you know, halfway between the beater and the corner. Nothing fancy. It's a 24 by 15, so it's not a very big, deep drum. I also have a resonator, but I don't have that hooked up right now. But and then I got my overheads up there. They're just like an ORTF. They're not very wide sounding. I'm sure I could get them wider, but I didn't want to. My normal mics are these Neumanns. I didn't want to screw around with my placement because I had them really good. One thing that I did notice is a part of the problem is, oh, yeah. A lot of these mics are out of phase. I noticed that the overheads are out of phase, the snare drums out of phase. I think my second tom was out of phase. The kick drum and the floor tom were fine. So check the phase when you're doing this stuff, because that, you know, I initially called up the tracks. I'll show you, I'll play you an example of that. Of just like, here's the recording, just as it is, everything where it normally is. And then I was like, why does this sound all squirrely? And I discovered that a lot of the mics were out of phase. So that could be part of the reason why they're 150 bucks. These overheads actually sound pretty good. They're not bad. Everything actually sounds okay if you can deal with its problems. And I'll show you a mix of the out of phase drums as they come. I'll fix the phase, show you what that sounds like, and then I'll do a mix of, you know, my crappy playing. I always forget to put on socks. I can't play in bare feet. I suck. Anyway, yeah. Overall, I give them I give them a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. But for $150, it's really great. It's just, you know, I wish I could get them closer. With different mic clips, I might be able to, maybe. But at the same time, if you have anything that clips on the drum, I don't think it's going to be possible, just because of that design flaw. So that sucks. Anyway, 6.5 out of 10. Okay, so yeah, I have the render of the out of phase drums made. I just made it, so I'm taking a look at it. Yeah, I have a mono overhead that I left up. That's a Neumann KM184. I'm assuming a Neumann KM184 is in phase. If it's not, I have a problem. But so if we take a look here, we see our two overheads are facing up, and this one's facing down. So I'm going to flip these two guys so that they face the same way. So I flip my two overheads, and now they're facing down. So the idea is we want down up. And so we're going to look at the rest here. Now if we look at the snare top, I'm seeing up down. Sorry, here's my snare top. Let me move that up underneath the overhead. So this one's out of phase. So my two overheads and my snare are out of phase. So I'm going to flip that. And now we got down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then take a look at my tom. My tom looks like it's down, up, the first tom, so that's good. Tom 2 and tom 3, let me find a spot that's where they're hitting. So let me find a tom 1. Here's a tom 1 and just make sure that we're down, up. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's good. And then let me find a tom 2 and compare that to my overheads. Mono overhead tom 2. And so we are, yeah, if we look at tom 2, we're up down. So I have to flip that one. Process phase reverse. I like doing it this way, so I'm making 100% sure. You could also just, you know, flip the phase that way if you like, in your mixer kind of thing. All right, so tom 2 and then tom 3. Let's find a spot where tom 3 hits and compare that to my overhead. And tom 3 is down, up. Okay, so that's what I did to correct it. So I don't even remember what I did. I had to do the overheads, the snare, tom 2. Was tom 1 okay? Let me find tom 1. Tom 1 is down, up. And where's that? Mono overhead. Down, up, yeah. Now, some guys go really, really crazy and they want to make perfect phase. And they will line up like the exact start points of like right there. They'll move this and they'll move that and they'll move this and they'll move that. So everything exactly the same. So they're all hitting exact. So they all punch straight out at the same time. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I just want like a general, this is what normal people do. Yeah, so I'll render that and I'll play that for you guys and you'll be able to hear what's happening.